Hi guys, we're here with Sean, and we are looking at Star Wars the War Game, right?
Well, welcome to Star Wars Legion Fantasy Flight's games in foray into tabletop miniature wargaming set in the Star Wars universe. We're starting off today's battle with a battle between the Galactic Empire and the Rebel Alliance set on the planet Tatooine. To get you right into the action, we're going to start you off with one unactivated squad on this side, one activated squad on this side. We're basically at the end of round one here. So for purposes of this demo, we're going to have the Empire take the initiative.
Now, I have a question.
Yes, sir.
So, another YouTuber, who I know, Teri demoed this game. I think it was a Gen Con, and it says she broke the demo because she didn't want to charge Darth Vader with the Skywalker. So
doesn't break the demo.
Doesn't break the demo.
Doesn't break my. Won't break my demo. We can do a bunch of different things.
Awesome. All right.
If you want to charge Darth Vader with Luke Skywalker, that's cool.
Well, she said that was a bad idea, and then there was like a scenario where she was supposed to.
Listen, I've seen Luke Skywalker charge Darth Vader. I've seen Luke Skywalker charge speeder bikes. I've seen Luke Skywalker charge infantry. I've seen an infantry charge against Darth Vader. I've seen it all. I'll let you do whatever you want to do it. Okay. But let's get things started. Yes. So we have two unactivated squads. These are indicated by upright squad activation tokens. This is an infantry squad activation token by the triangle symbol. Here's another squad that's cowering behind the building. So the Galactic Empire has the initiative, so let's start you off here. One of the cool things in this game system is you're allowed to measure anytime. But before we get to measuring, let's talk about what your units can do. Once you pick up that Stormtrooper card, I'll pick up this Stormtrooper card, and you can pick up a Rebel Trooper card because they're more or less the same, and we can, that's your Rebel Trooper card, and you can follow along. So let's break down the stats on this card a little bit. If you want to do it in front of a whatever. So in the bottom left-hand corner, there's this little sort of circular symbol with an X through it. That is melee range of a red little symbol. And that says they are unarmed. So in unarmed combat, Stormtroopers are allowed to punch, kick, club, whatever, for one black die of damage per unit. Okay. Next to that, we see their weapons. Now, you have the Rebel card, so it's going to be some different stuff, but for the Imperial Stormtroopers, they're equipped with the rusty Soro Sub E11 blaster rifle, which does one white attack die at a range of 1 to 3. Why does it do white attack dice? White attack dice are the worst of the game, so to represent that vaunted accuracy of the Stormtrooper, we use white attack dice for their blast rifle.
That's all a lie. They were told to be horrible shots.
Obi-Wan told me only Imperial Stormtroopers could be that precise.
Well, Imperial Stormtroopers are precise, but what precise is, I will talk to you about later. Moving along, so we've got your Stormtroopers set up over here. Let's start seeing what they can do. Well, you have a gun that has a range of 1 to 3, so we can measure. So we're going to pull out our measuring stick and check. Uh-oh, we only got 2 range brackets here. How do we fix that? Well, what we do is we pick up another range bracket, we plug it into our range stick, and boom, we've got a range 3 stick. If we need to, we can plug in another one, so we got a range 4 stick. So, when we're dealing with squads, we always do everything from the squad leader. He's the guy with the cool orange shoulder pauldron. The guy over here, and you got another one over here. Those are your Rebel squad leaders that are wearing the long dusters with the binoculars. So, measuring from the squad leader, base to base, we see, we're going to fudge it and say Luke is just out of range. Yeah, he should be just out of range, and that squad is just out of range. So what we're going to do is move your guy up into a firing position where we can actually do something. So how do we handle movement in this game? Well, going back to our card here, you can see just above the blaster rifle are 2 red bars. On those two red bars indicate which movement template we use. So all the Rebel units on this we're using have 2 red bars. Darth Vader has 1 red bar. The Stormtroopers have 2 red bars, and the speeder bike has 3 red bars. The red bars indicate which movement template we use in the game. We have 3 movement templates. This one has 1 pip. It is a speed 1 movement template. This has 2. It's a speed 2 template. This has 3. It's a speed 3 template. You see the pattern. So your Stormtroopers are going to get to use a speed 2 template. So the way we do that is we're going to take our template, we're going to put it down right along the base of the Stormtrooper Squad Commander, and it slots in nicely, and you can move him up to the full length of that template. There you go. Boom, he's at the end. Now you're thinking to yourself, man, this is going to be a chore. I got to move all these guys the same way. That's so slow. No, we came up with a better way. We're done with this. As a matter of fact, let's toss it away. Anyway, moving along, we have a system called Squad Coherency. As long as the rest of the guys are within a movement 1 template of the squad leader, the squad is considered to be in coherency. So you just move them all up. So So we're going to move these guys up, and as long as half the squad is behind cover, the whole squad is behind cover. So if you want to make things cool and cinematic, hey, throw this guy out over here. He's brazenly going after Luke Skywalker or those dirty rebel scum. So they're out, you know, but the whole squad is still considered to be behind cover because we go by the majority of the squad.
So it's majority of the squad, and then everything's drawn from the squad leader.
Yes.
So, okay, so he's essentially the base for everything.
Well, I'm going to go into that in 1 second here. So, we've moved up. You're into a firing position. So, taking out our measuring stick, we can see you're in range to that squad over there. You're in range to Luke Skywalker. Now, looking here, you can see, hey, I can see that one trooper poking out behind the building, but he isn't the squad leader. The squad leader is behind the building, so we're going to consider that squad to still be behind full coverage. So, looking at their weapons, the E11 blaster rifle uses white attack dice, so you get to use one white attack die per remaining trooper in the squad. So there's 5 troopers in the squad, you're going to get to roll 5 attack dice. I only have 3, so you're going to have to re-roll 2. Okay?
So we give Luke a few shots.
Yeah, who did you want to fire at? Luke or... Okay, so Luke and that rebel squad are both behind... Luke and the rebel squad are both behind cover, so it's going to be the same either way.
All right.
So that's 1 hit. Okay, so let's stop for a moment. This is some good results here. So let's talk about the dice in this game for a moment. So we have 2 types of dice in this game. We have defense dice, which are 6-sided, and we have offense dice, which are always going to be 8-sided. Let's talk about offensive dice first. There are 4 possible results on offensive die. There are blanks.
Do you mind if I have one to hold up to the camera? Sorry.
Yeah, here, yeah, just go ahead and take it. So you have blanks, which are the solid crosses. You have crits. You have blanks, you have hits, which are the solid crosses. You have crits, which are the ones that have a hole in the center.
So similar to looking like attack for Star Trek and Star Wars.
Well, it's this is more akin to Armada dice. You have a offensive surge result, which is the one that has a sort of a lightning bolt through the center of it. So you rolled 1 hit and 1 offensive surge in a play. So what are surges? I'm going to come back to that in 1 second. Let's talk about defensive dice. So the defensive dice have 3 possible outcomes. They have blanks, they have blocks, and they have defensive surges. So surges are maybe effects. And what I mean by that is they maybe do something depending on the unit. Looking at our stormtroopers, they have a little symbol here for the offensive surge, and we see that they convert offensive surges into hits.
Thank you.
This surge here gets rolled over and becomes a hit. Now if we were to look at the Rebel Trooper card, they have a defensive surge becomes a block. So if they were rolling defensively and they rolled a surge, they convert that surge into a block. If they are unable to convert, it's just treated as a blank result. So with that, we have 2 incoming hits at Luke Skywalker. So let's take a look at Luke Skywalker's card. So looking at Luke Skywalker's card, you see he has a red defense die. There's a little sort of red cube-shaped object there. If you look at your Rebel Troopers, they have white defense die. There's only white and red defense dice in this game. So you're going to get to roll 1 red defense die.
White die, red die.
So you're going to get to roll 1 red defense die per an incoming uncanceled attack. Now you have 2 incoming uncanceled attacks, but you're behind cover.
Okay.
So we cancel out one of those for the cover. So you're only going to need to roll 1 defense die. Had he rolled 5 hits, you'd be rolling 5 defense dice. So you roll 1 defense die per uncanceled incoming attack.
All right, let's go. Nothing.
Bupkis. All right. So
No. Go ahead.
So Luke Skywalker takes 1 wound. We're going to place a 1 wound token on him.
Okay.
So the squad has moved and they've attacked. Each unit has 2 actions per an activation. Moving was 1, attacking was a 2nd. You've done your 2. We flip over the squad activation token to indicate that squad has completed its activation. It's done for this round.
Do you have to do both actions at the same time? Like you do
you
one.
Can't activate it. No, you have to complete the activation for that one unit and before moving on to another unit.
Okay.
There will be actions that maybe will like you can reactive fire things such as that, but that's beyond the scope of this game.
Okay.
So let's activate your squad here.
Okay.
So looking, your squad leader is fully behind cover.
Yes.
So he can't aim at anyone. So let's move him out. Now, because of squad coherency, where these troopers are actually positioned, other than the squad leader, doesn't matter so much. So we can just move him out of the way when we place our template down, and then you can just move him as far as you want out.
Okay. This is squad leader.
Yes, indicated by the binoculars and the trench coat. So you want to go. If you want to charge out straight, you could move him out of the way so he could give you a better angle.
Essentially, I know, like you can move like that.
You could do that too. Yes.
Can but there you get, like you said, he's the base. So if I have the squad put around here, will they still benefit from any cover here, but I'll be able to shoot?
Really, I think the squad leader is supposed to sort of be behind cover. I mean, if you're trying to use the building for cover, it really is not.
Like, for example,
for the
let's
purpose
say that
of
I move him.
for the purpose of this demo, we're not really allowing that to happen.
Okay. But yeah, so like if I were to
So if you move him there, so you would then move the rest of the squad into coherency. If you wanted to double move, you would do both moves, and then you would move the squad up into coherency. So you can move them up, and yeah, if you want to keep some guys sort of back here, but they would would be basically considered to be out in the open. Okay. So now from where you're at, you can check range and see you have line of sight to pretty much everything except the speeder bikes. So looking at the Rebel cards, they have the A280 blaster rifle, which is a little bit more accurate because the Rebels prefer quality over quantity. So you can get to have 5 black dice. They use black dice, so 1 per trooper, 5 black dice.
All right, we'll fire at the squad and shot Luke.
So 1 hit. 2 hits. So unfortunately the cover, that squad is behind cover, so we're going to negate 1 hit. So then we look at the stormtroopers. They have red defense dice, so you get to roll one red defense die. 1 block, so they take no damage, no units are lost. So you moved, you attacked, we're going to leave that like that, okay? All right. Looking around the table, we see there are no face-up squad activation tokens. Every squad has an activation token that is face-down adjacent to it. So that means we've come to the end of a round. All units have been activated. So we have end-of-round cleanup at this point. What we're going to do is we're going to pick up all of our squad activation tokens. Oh, you shot at the squad. You didn't shoot at Vader, right?
I did not shoot at Vader.
Okay, too bad. Missed opportunity. We could have done something cool there, but never mind.
If you want to explain it,
well,
I mean,
okay.
Let's say, for example, I shot at Vader.
So
and
Vader and Luke Skywalker both have an ability called Deflect that is triggered off of having a dodge token, which is this. So while defending, if they spend a dodge token, and spending a dodge token adds 1 block to their defense results. They also gain the ability to convert defensive surges into blocks. Normally they're incapable of doing that. So the other part of this is if they're being attacked from range, they inflict 1 wound on the attacking unit for each surge they roll. So say you attacked Vader and got 4 hits. He would roll 4 defense dice, and if he got 3 surges, he would convert those to blocks. He'd also spend the block token, he'd get a block token from spending the dodge token, and he would inflict 3 wounds on that squad. So you would remove 3 of the troopers for fire.
certainly like bounce back.
Yes, deflecting the lightsaber, the blaster bolts back to this lightsaber. So we're at the end of the round, so we're going to clean up. We're going to pick up all of our squad activation tokens, and we pick up any outstanding green tokens, similar to X-Wing. Okay, the round is now finished. We've entered the round 2. We start each round with the command phase. Your commanders, Darth Vader, Luke Skywalker, are going to issue orders to their troops that are within range 3 of themselves. They do this by issuing commands via the command deck. Issuing orders via the command deck. So this is an order card. And I'll let you put it up there. So there's 4 parts to the order card. First is the title, which is up here. Standing orders is the name of this order. The top left corner, there are a number of pips. The pips are the initiative system. The fewer the pips, the better the initiative. 1 beats 2, 2 beats 3, etc., etc. Below the artwork will be a number followed by the word unit. This will be the number of units your commander will be able to issue a face-up squad activation token to. Below that is some text. Sometimes it has an in-game effect, sometimes there's flavor text. For some will give global bonuses, for example, like your units will do +1 attacking this round. When attacking, or get 1 additional hit when attacking this round, or your units get 1 additional block when defending this round. Each commander will have orders unique to them. You'll be able to select these orders out of your hand of your command deck. You'll have a hand of orders that you can pick and choose. So generally speaking, the lower the initiative count, the fewer the number of units you're going to be able to issue commands to. The higher the number of the initiative count, the more units you will be able to place squad activation tokens out. So on your turn, can I borrow? Yes. So this represents your support mechanical units. This represents infantry. This represents your commander. So say I issue out this order here, standing orders. It allows me to issue 1 unit a squad activation token. So I'm going to place this infantry will have a squad activation token. So what about the rest of these? I'm going to take this and randomize them, or put them in a bag or something so I don't know what I'm drawing. And so when it's my turn, I have 2 choices. I can either activate a unit that has a face-up squad activation token to chase them to it, or I can go to my pile of squad activation tokens and draw it at random and see I came up with an infantry squad. So I would have to issue this to a infantry squad that did not have a squad activation token. So assuming this wasn't out here, I could put it to either squad. So if you have 4 infantry squads, you draw a squad activation token, and none of those infantry squads have an activation token, you can assign it to any one of those squads. You do not have to pick a face-up squad activation token before drawing. So it's your choice. But essentially, say Luke is at death's door. So I want to make sure, and I roll. So I play a low initiative count card. I could put it out by Luke, and that way I can get Luke to take a defense action or whatever he needed to do to get done first. I guarantee he goes, but the rest of my stuff is going to be random. So essentially the way the system works is we're trading speed for predictability. The faster you go, the less predictable you're going to be on how you're going to be able to order your units. If you need to order your 2 infantries and this tank before you can do anything else, you're going to want to pick one that allows you to issue out 3 orders, but it will have a slow initiative count. The last thing is, once you play an order, it is, unless it has a global effect, which in that case you would leave it out until the end of a turn, orders are discarded at the end of the turn. So you have a discard pile. This card here, its text reads, you actually shuffle it back in your hand, so you would constantly be able to issue this particular order. So looking at your orders, pick one you like, and then once you pick out the one you like, place it face down on the table in front of you. Okay, now we both have an order. You flip them over simultaneously. He has 2 pips, you have 3 pips. He wins the initiative. 2 beats 3. So he's going to place out 2 tokens before you do, and then you will place out your 3 tokens. So your commander. Before you place the infantry, can I make a recommendation to you? You only have 1 vehicle token, you have 2 infantry tokens. If you place your vehicle token out, you know your draw pile is going to be purely infantry. So if you choose to go with infantry, you just draw, you're going to get infantry. So this way you now have complete control over your army. He has a draw pile, so he's going to have complete control too, but he had a different order called ambush, which would allow him to only put one out, but he would have beat you initiative because of point one, but he'd have to randomly draw from the rest. So some things to think about when you're placing orders. Okay, so you can place out your 3 tokens now. No, you get to choose. When sure, once you do you mind jumping? He's got to go. He's got to go. So.
Okay, so sure thing. Thank you. Nice to meet you.
All right, and so this is going to be your draw pile. We know it's an infantry though, so anyway. You have the initiative, so you get to select to either draw from your pile of unassigned tokens, or you can activate Vader, or you can activate the speeder bikes over there.
Okay.
Why don't you activate the speeder bikes over there?
Yeah, I know. I'm like,
because that will give me the opportunity to explain speeder bikes, which
Okay.
are very interesting.
I don't know. I think I might just go with Vader. No.
Okay.
no, I'll go with the speeder
So,
bike.
if you want to show it up to the camera.
All right. We get
So-
that in focus there. It's been
Speeder
kind
bikes
of hard.
have a
Yep,
couple
I
of
got
special
it. You got to
abilities.
tap the screen.
Okay.
One is called Cover 1. Cover 1 basically represents the fact that speeder bikes are fast moving and they sort of have narrow profiles, they're hard to hit. They're constantly considered to have at least one rank of cover, whether they're actually behind cover or not. If they're behind cover, it stacks.
Okay. Now, does that only count if they move?
No, that's it's a constant effect.
Okay.
Okay. So, if they're behind cover, one rank of cover, they have one rank of cover, automatically they would have cover 2 at that point. So 2 incoming hits would get canceled. Not crits, mind you. Remember, we cancel hits by cover, but not crits. Okay. So the other ability they have is Speeder 1, which reads, when moving, ignore terrain of height 1 or lower. So things like that barricade in front of those speeder bikes, they ignore them. Like, that's too low for us to we can just fly right over.
Okay, so what determines the height? Are we going with movement?
That's sort of beyond the scope of this demo, but for purposes of this demo, most of the low, but as long as it's not taller than a miniature, we're going to say it's
A bunch of 40K players, wargamers coming up to for the demo for the thing. It's like, oh, well,
So I take it as
you gotta scale that and fall back. You know?
It's going to be in the rule book, but that's not ready for prime time yet.
Okay.
So we have this barricade here, so we're going to just move it out of the way. So this is how vehicular moves. Now there's another part to speeder, which is important, which reads, when you activate, perform a compulsory move. To reflect the fact that speeder bikes are constantly in motion, you have to move a full movement bracket for a speeder bike, a full movement template. Since they're speed 3, you're going to have to move a full speed 3 move before you do anything else. If you cannot complete the move, like you run into a building or something like that, the bike will take damage.
Okay. Now I notice on these ones too, they got the
Yes,
X's.
I'm about to get into that too. So vehicles do have firing arcs, and these do have a forward firing arc. It's a 90-degree arc. So first, why don't we position this so you can get as much of the field?
Are we in the shot with this?
Yeah, she's got it.
Okay.
Okay. So we're gonna pick it up, put it at the end.
All right.
So now you have a 90-degree field of fire, which is covering pretty much the whole battlefield there. Now, you have this other guy here. We do not need to measure out for him. We're going to use the squad coherency rules just like we do for infantry. This is going to be, we're going to save us a squad coherency. He broke off a peg, but we're using that one just so we don't damage it further. So we put that up. The only difference between vehicle squad coherency and infantry squad coherency is that you have to maintain sort of an overlapping field of fire. You're not allowed to kick this out to the side. You have to keep them basically in relative...
So it doesn't pivot cost anything to turn them.
Sorry?
You can turn them whatever direction you want.
Yeah, I mean, as long as you can lay out the template, you can twist it, however, I mean, this will go 90 degrees. There's no effect. You just have to go from one end of a template all the way to the other end of a template.
Oh, we got to click in with it.
Yes, and it has to click in at the end. You
We
cannot,
couldn't have it facing like that.
Yeah.
We have to go. Okay.
yeah, you cannot, yeah. I mean, if you wanted to turn them, you would have to do it as part of the moving of the template.
All right.
So we've moved them up into position. Now the compulsory move is not an action, so you still have 2 actions left with this unit.
Okay, that's nice.
So you can only attack once. You can only attack once during your turn. So why don't we try doing something that will help your attack, or you can help your defense. So we have 2 actions here you can do that with. One is dodging, which we discussed earlier, Vader, but the other one, which is probably what you want to do, is aiming. Aiming, if you're familiar with X-Wing, works similar to a target lock function in that you get to re-roll up to 2 of your attack dice. Some units, such as Stormtroopers, have an ability called Precise, with a value of X, and Precise X allows you to re-roll an additional number of attack dice up to that value when you use an aim function. So you're going to aim with your speeder bikes. You have 2 weapon choices on your speeder bikes. One is this EC-17 hold-out blaster pistol, which if you can see the other model, you can actually see him if he's holding it. This allows you to fire in a 360 arc around the guy. So if you're if you had the position so you're out of arc, you could still attack that round.
Okay, and let's see.
The AX-20 blaster cannon is fixed forward, so it has to be in the forward fire arc. You see it has a fixed forward keyword. And it has a range of 1 to 3, and it does 1 white, 1 black, and 1 red. Okay. Now, you're wondering what this is. Impact 1. So Impact X is a keyword. There's an ability for some units in this game, namely, the only one on the table here that has it is the Walker over there. It's called Armor. So you were asking earlier what's the difference between hits and crits. Generally, crits bypass cover, but they're also used to bypass armor. If you read the Armor special ability, which is on the ATRT's card there, it reads, when defending, cancel all hit results.
Oh wow,
so,
that's powerful.
So if you rolled 5 hits and 1 crit against the ATRT, only the crit counts. He would only be rolling to defend against the 1 crit. The 5 hits are gone. Impact allows you to convert X number of hits into crits only when attacking a unit with armor. So it's only useful for bypassing armor. It does not help bypass cover.
So some units are going to, like maybe a bike would be more effective hitting it against an armor unit versus shooting infantry.
Yes, potentially, but they're also very effective against infantry as well. So I mean, it gives them a little bit more help against armor. So as we see here, this cannon does 1 white, 1 black, and 1 red. That's per unit in the squad. Since there's 2, you actually get a total of 6 dice.
Okay.
So who would you like to shoot at? You want to shoot at Luke, or do you want to shoot at one of the infantry squads? That infantry squad, let's see if they're in range actually. Let's measure.
Yeah. Luke is in a bad spot. He's just like
so it looks like that squad might just be in range if you want to fire, and they're out in the open, so you're not even going to get a cover bonus.
Right.
So, or you can fire at Luke. Now he's behind cover, but you're going to be throwing a mountain of dice at him. And you have an aim token. And that cover will only absorb 1 hit. So I'll let you pick.
Kill Luke.
Yeah, let's go for Luke.
I want to kill Luke. I'm rooting for the Imperium, and I'm not even playing.
All right.
It's not the
Imperium, the Imperial forces.
Yes.
So you're going to roll 6 dice.
40 and 6.
Okay.
Wow, that's a lot of...
so if we look at the speeder bike, they actually do convert surges into hits, so you've got 3.
Okay.
Now the black and the red, you can only re-roll 2 of these dice using that aim token. The black and the red have a higher number of results, so you probably want to roll those before you roll the white.
All right, so white's low, which one's
black,
high?
Middle, red is highest.
Okay. So we're kind of going on a hot scale here.
Yeah. So and we spend the aim token to do that.
Okay.
Wow. Sweet.
That's some classic Imperial Stormtrooper shooting right there. However, so you have 3 attacks coming in on Luke. 1 gets canceled by cover, so Luke has to roll 2 defense dice.
Okay.
Clutch.
So that's a surge defense, right?
So that's a surge. Now, if Luke had a dodge token, he could use deflect to convert that to a surge. Could you hand me that red die down there?
Yes.
Unfortunately, he doesn't have a dodge token, so that stays as a blank. So those are 2 blanks.
Oh, it's a blank. It doesn't even get to be a defense. Oh,
It only becomes a defense if you look at the deflect ability, which Vader used earlier we talked about Vader using to knock back shots.
Yeah.
He could use that same ability to improve his defense, but he has to have a dodge token to make that work. So Luke ends up taking 2 damage.
Right, and like you said here, each card, when you look at the surge,
Each symbol is different. Yes.
How do you get a dodge token?
You take an action to take a dodge action. So he already had 1 wound. He takes 2 more. I'm gonna remove the 1 and replace it with a 3, so we don't clutter the table too much.
6 health. So he's got 3 life left.
So your squad aimed and fired. So that's their 2 actions. So we're gonna flip over squad activation tokens to show they've completed their action.
All right.
So that was your turn. Now it is your turn to activate a unit. Since Luke's been injured, why don't we?
I need to pull him back. Like I want to pull him back. Like this is bad. He's just sitting here doing nothing. Like a big target. Like
death before decide. Come on,
put Luke here. Like who?
Come on, man.
Charge,
Vader. This is bad tactics. I don't know who did this.
Go for it.
All right, yeah, I'll do it. Let's charge Darth Vader.
So,
come at me, bro.
Before we do that, let's take a look at Luke's card and see what his special abilities are.
Yeah.
So Luke has a couple of special abilities. The first one here is Jump 1. And it has this little arrow next to it, which indicates it's a movement action.
Okay.
And what it says is, perform a move during which you ignore terrain that is height 1 or lower, such as a barricade. This is treated as a move action all over. So, he also, his next ability says, charge. After you perform a move action, you may perform a free melee attack action. So what this allows Luke to do, if he jumps, he can jump his full speed and then get a free attack at the end of it. So looking here, you can see he's 1 move away from Vader. But if he didn't have a jump ability, he'd be 2 moves away from Vader. He'd have to move around the barricade to get to him. Since you're going to be able to get a free attack as soon as you get to base, and it's only going to take you 1 action to do that, you could either aim or dodge before you get into base with Vader. You can aim for melee attacks.
So if I aim, it gives him basically a better chance to wound Vader.
Yes.
But see, I still feel like that's bad. Now, does Vader have 6 health as well?
No, he has 8.
He's 8 health, and I already have half of his life gone. This seems all bad. It seems like it's bad.
No guts, no glory, man. No guts, no glory.
I have tactics, not guts.
I don't know about your YouTube persona, but is it the Cowardly Lion?
I just got called out.
Come on, Inquisitor.
Inquisitor. We're gonna do it, right? So I'm
Go for it. There you go. Yes, you'll hit. It's already measured out, so you're gonna hit base to base. And did you want to aim or dodge before you did that?
I'm gonna aim.
All right.
So I'm gonna get cut down by Darth Vader. But it's cool because I like him better than Luke Skywalker anyway.
So this is Luke, sort of somewhere between end of Empire, before. Maybe somewhere, I don't know exactly where he is, but he hasn't really completed his training yet, so he's not an expert.
Now he tells me these things.
Well, I'm just saying he's not an expert lightsaber duelist yet. So he only gets black dice when attacking, but he just gets...
This is why Teri broke the demo. This is why she was like, she recognized, she's like, no, this is all bad. Of course he doesn't want to fight Vader.
So he gets, hey, Vader, well, here's the thing though. If you didn't do that, Vader could have charged you next turn.
Well, yeah, but hold on. Couldn't I have taken my jump action and jumped behind this barricade, been out of his charge distance, and then been out of shot?
Excuse me. Sorry. Pardon me. Nah, come on, man. Let's have some fun. We're trying to make this Star Wars.
We're gonna make it entertaining. We're gonna make it entertaining, but in a real game, I'm smarter than this. That's my caveat. All right, so let's attack.
All right.
Wow.
And you get 3 more dice, just so pick them up and reroll them. So you have 2 blanks and 1 hit.
Is any of these like a double hit? We need a promo double hit die. Fantasy Flight Games, we need a promo double hit die.
It's a different game.
I'm aware of that, but I'm just saying.
So there you go, 2 crits, and you have 1 hit, 2 crits, and 2 blanks. Now you can re-roll 2 of those blanks.
I will absolutely.
So just pick up the other one too. So So you end up with 3 crits and 1 hit. So 4 attacks on Vader uncanceled. So Vader's going to have to roll 4 defenses.
All blanks. All blanks.
Alright.
The Force is with me.
No.
Okay, that's cool.
But since Vader's a master, he gets red dice.
So that's 2 blocks and a surge, but he does not. He's not able to convert surges, so because he doesn't have a dodge token. So that's a blank, and then 1 more. So you block 3. So Vader will take 1 damage.
Incredible. Does the crit damage matter in that
And you
instance?
spent no. As I said, crits are basically just for purpose of penetrating cover and armor. That's the main. That's their main function.
Okay.
So you spent your aim token. We're going to discard that.
Yes.
And let's not forget to take his wound token up there, and then we're going to flip over his squad activation token to show that Skywalker has done his actions for this turn and has completed his activation. So that brings us back to the Empire side. So
In a real game, don't do that.
Alright.
So you got Luke right there in front of you. Now, one other thing we should point out here. These 2 units have now become engaged in... Okay, actually, 2 things I want to point out. One is, going back to Luke Skywalker, if we look at his lightsaber, he has Impact 2, which we discussed earlier. It's the bypass armor. And then he has Pierce 2. After defense dice are rolled, units with Pierce are able to, so Pierce X, can cancel that many block results from the defender's dice roll. So if you have Pierce 2 and your defender rolls 2 blocks, they're just both canceled out. So you do the full you would do the full damage past that. However, both Luke and Vader have immunity to Pierce. That's to keep them from them simply annihilating one another.
Yeah.
So that wasn't a factor in this. Because you were asking about how do I get a double hit. The Pierce effect is essentially
Can you shoot at units in combat?
That's what I was just about to talk about. Okay. No. Once units are engaged in melee, you cannot make ranged attacks at them. Now you can have other troops join them in the melee, but you're not allowed to, shoot at.
So same as 40K.
A stormtrooper is not going to shoot at Luke Skywalker and risk putting a hole in Vader's favorite velour cape because he doesn't want to get choked after the battle. Anyway.
Velour and choking. Oh my.
So, you get to select to activate a unit. Now you can either draw to activate one of your stormtroopers, but you can't shoot into melee right now, or you can activate Vader.
Now the trooper's speed is
2. But none of them is going to be able to get in there because they'd have to walk around the barricades. They're not going to be able to.
So you can't jump cover.
No, you have to have a special ability like Luke to jump over cover, or the speeder button,
or the speeders to move over. Okay, so that's something important. So crates are even in the way when they move.
Theoretically, yes.
Okay.
For units joining, did you say they had to be within an inch of the guy in combat?
Okay, so no, melee is base to base, so you have to get to touch.
You have to get to touching no matter who it is. Like the squad leader here would have to get to base for him to join in.
I think actually now, because this hasn't happened, I'm really not 100% sure, but I think you can surge forward your troops to get them to base to base. I know if it's the other way around, say Luke had charged this guy, essentially as soon as Luke hits him, the rest of the units are considered to be surged into him. I don't know if it works the other way around. You'd have to ask one of the design teams. I'm just a local guy.
Sure, right. And I would like to do that because I'd like to know. I mean, I feel like that's a...
Overbear, you can ask him to Matt. He's in the middle of the game right now, so... anyway, so what would you like to do?
You know what? Let's go for it.
Vader. Okay.
Vader's going for it.
You have 2 actions.
Okay.
So you could aim or dodge before you go after.
Basically, if you don't kill him, you are the sub. Like
Vader is not the sub.
So you're gonna aim?
Yeah. So even in melee, you can't perform 2 attacks.
No.
Okay.
No, you can only. There is some exceptions to this, but that's beyond the scope of this demo.
And they'll let you know on the card.
Yeah.
Okay. So I will aim, of course.
And Vader is the beast, and he has a red lightsaber, so of course he gets red damage dice.
And he gets 6 of them.
Yeah. And he has Pierce 3, but because there's immunity to Pierce, it's not going to affect.
And I take it that symbol right there just means that
that's melee.
Yeah, that's a melee.
And also, let's actually look at Vader for a second so we can go over a couple of things. Vader doesn't have the ability to jump like Luke does because he's wearing this heavy Sith armor. But he has an ability called Relentless, which is similar to Charge, but what it reads is, after you perform a movement, you perform a free attack action. So we're using vanilla Vader here. All he has is his lightsaber. But if we'd equipped him with a Force upgrade, such as Force Choke or lightsaber throw, he could do that in lieu of attacking in melee.
Lightsaber throw. That's cool. So Chocolate Vader is Force Choke.
So I saw over there the ATR key. I take it that would be a little card like that would go.
Yeah, you have like an upgrade. You'll have upgrade cards. I mean, and there's a whole simple thing, but that's beyond the scope of this. Yeah.
But I would just want. That's how you would get Force Choke and stuff like that. Okay.
Cool. All right, come at me.
Go on to the death.
Cut me down. Cut me down.
Okay.
So if we look at Vader's card, he does not convert surges, so that's 2 blanks and 1 crit. So just roll them.
All right.
So roll 3 more.
Roll 3 more.
So I have a crit.
So that's 2 more hits, and you have 3. So 2 hits and a crit, and you have 3 blanks. So you can re-roll 2 of those using your aim token. So you end up with a total of 4 hits, 3 hits and a crit. So you have 4 incoming damage. You get to roll 4 dice. So that's 2. So Luke will survive. So Luke takes 2 more damage. He's barely holding on with 1.
So
now
I've aimed and I've attacked, so I'm activated.
Now, hypothetically speaking, have Vader not wanted to attack Luke for whatever reason, say he wanted to let the stormtroopers finish him off, Vader could have spent a full round action, this is the only thing he would do that round, to disengage, and then he would move a speed 1 template away from the unit who is attacking.
Okay.
So, you've activated Vader, it's now your turn to activate a unit. You can pick any unit.
See a measurement for the movements.
Which one did you, it's 2s?
Yeah, 2s, because he's got 2s, right?
Yeah. And you're not going to be able to melee Vader.
There's no advanced thing I can do with that?
I don't think so, yeah. But you can...
What about falling back? How do we fall back?
What...
Like, how do
I mean, you would just move the troops per... Are you talking about Luke, or who?
Yeah, like say he wanted to...
As I said, it's the disengage action. It's a full round thing. It's, you have to... this is to keep Luke... Once you engage in melee, you're stuck in melee until you take a disengage. This is to keep Luke from going bounce, swipe, jump back out of the fight.
But that seems like a great tactic.
Yeah, no.
I want to be within my firing for sure. I think I can do it.
Close enough. We're gonna fudge things for this time.
I don't know my laser, but I think
so. You got your forward arc. Now, taking a look at the ATRT in his upgrade card, he's got 3 attack options. 1, he has the melee attack, which is like basically stomping on guys for 3 red dice. He has a blaster rifle that's the same as a regular troopers carry, except it does 2 white dice. He can shoot that 360. So again, this is the idea. If something's out of arc, he can still fire back to some limited degree. We've equipped him with the ATRT laser cannon, this is sort of an anti-armor weapon. It has 1 red, 2 black dice. It has a minimum range of 2 and a maximum range of 4. And it has impact 3. What that means is for every hit it rolls, it can convert them up to a crit. But only against the unit with armor. There's no armored unit, so impact 3 is essentially useless against everything here. Anything you can shoot at with this. I mean, the speeder bikes, if they fired at that, then the impact would come in, or if somehow Darth Vader engaged it, he has impact, because that's the only armored unit on the table. So, Using your range 4 stick, you can measure out as long as they're not in the first range bracket. You can attack them with that. So you can go after the speeder bikes, or you can go after the infantry. Now everything is going to have one rank of cover, because the speeder bikes have cover 1 and all the infantry are behind cover.
Oh, they just by default they've got cover 1.
Huh?
Yeah, it's
one of their special abilities. They have a special ability called cover 1, which is where it's actually cover X. For them,
I'm gonna shoot. I guess they can't shoot. I guess I'll shoot the bikes.
okay. So you get 3 dice. Now you can't take an aim action because you moved as your first action. So looking at the ATRT, they actually convert surges into crits. So that becomes a crit.
I'll take over there.
Power 1.
I know.
There you go.
Oh gosh, Nate, this is why we can't have nice things.
So you got 2 hits and a crit. So if we look at the speeder bikes, they have white defense dice.
Yeah.
Unlike the rest of your dice who have reds.
Okay.
So you're going to get to roll 3 defense dice, and because of cover 1, we're going to eliminate straight off the bat one of the hits. Sorry, you're going to roll 2 defense dice because of cover 1. We eliminate one of the hits right off the bat.
Okay.
You only roll for ones that are uncanceled after cover and armor. So you're going to take 2 wounds, but luckily your speeder bikes have 3 health each.
Right.
So we're just going to put 2 damage tokens on one of the bikes, and
So a question with this real quick.
yeah.
When you assign wounds, do you have to keep assigning to one unit?
Until it's destroyed. Yeah, you can't spread it out across the squad till it's like, oh no, you can't do it. You have to. One unit takes the damage, and then when it flows over, it goes to the next unit.
And we can assign it to whichever one we want.
You can't. The squad leader is the last one to get assigned.
Okay.
Because the squad leader is the last one to be removed from the pit.
But I can accolade them how I want, except for the squad leader.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is there anything more expansive in the game that might let you target?
That is beyond the scope. Well, you mean the squad leader or the commander?
Either.
Well, I mean, anyone can shoot at the commander as long as they're not prevented from shooting.
So what about squad leaders? Like, would there be something in the expansive game like sniper weapons?
That's beyond the scope.